The Wild Warden is an incredible sort of like druid warrior hybrid within Mandragora that will allow you to deal mass damage like this to enemies, throw out leaves that you can then withdraw to heal yourself up, as well as has special roots that will entrap enemies, allowing you to constantly throw out your magic leaves like this, drawing them back and healing yourself up, and then rooting enemies still, so you can land these heavy, devastating attacks. So, if this looks like your kind of thing, let's go over the whole build. We start at the centre with the Wild Mastery, and we're going to start by going to the right. So we're going to pick up Knowledge +1, we're going to pick up Knowledge +1 again, and then into Spirit. Spirit is really important, because if we find an open Spirit guide, such as here, you'll see it increases your weapon damage and your Spirit Force. So, once you have that locked in, come to Nature's Grasp. Increase your root chance by 4% plus an additional 1% for each nearby enemy that is not currently rooted. You'll see overall our root chances are 42% baseline. We also have a magic crit chance of 39% and 150% crit damage. So if we can entrap enemies by rooting them, it makes them just easier to pick off. Once you got this, come back to the middle, go to the left, pick up Vigor +1, Dex +1, Endurance +1, and then Sick 'em Up. Dealing wild damage to enemies has a chance to send a Spirit Raven to gouge the target, dealing 365 damage, which is a huge amount. The Raven then returns to you permanently, increasing your spirit up to a total of 20, and as you can see the current bonus is 20 out of 20, more damage output. Come back to the middle, we're going to come north, pick up Defense +1, and we're going to go clockwise, and we're going to go Knowledge +1, Spirit +1, Knowledge +1, Defense +1 to tank us up, and then down into Rejuvenation. Dealing wild damage grants Rejuvenation, restoring 0.1% of your maximum health, and 0.12% of your maximum mana over 5 seconds. Multiple applications of Rejuvenation may overlap, and will deal lots of wild magic thanks to our spells. So once we go up, come north again, pick up Vigor +1, go to the left for an offensive node, and for these I would always put +1 Spirit, and again, more weapon damage, more Spirit Force. We're also going to pick up the Spirit, that is sort of like northwest, and then pick up Energy Attunement. Your weapon attacks have an additional 10% chance to grant you 1 stack free cast. Free cast is basically a free spell use. Awesome. We're also just going to pick up this one little Spirit you can see here next to the offensive node. Once you've got this locked down, back into the middle, I'm going to come right to pick up the Vitality node. I put Constitution here just to get that extra health pool. And we're going to come sort of like top right, pick up Knowledge +1 into Grounding. Your Lightning Wild spells have an additional 10% chance to supercharge the target for 10 seconds. Your non-Lightning Wild spells consume this effect, dealing 320 damage and rooting the target. So, if you don't want to use the exact spells I am, you can go with the Lightning route and still benefit from taking this. Back into the centre, we're going to come north for the Defense node. I put Constitution in here. And then we go to the right, pick up Dex, Endurance, Dex, and then the offensive node again, put Spirit in here. We're then going to come south, pick up a Vigor +1, a Defense +1, into Guardian Vines. After not receiving damage for 20 seconds, you gain a Protective Shell that reduces your next damage by 35%. Super easy to build up when sort of traversing the world, or even in boss fights if an enemy is in an animation that you know how to dodge really well. When consumed, the shell spawns in all directions, dealing 320 damage and rooting all enemies in a small radius. And then we're going to come all the way north, so we're going to pick up the Endurance here, and then we're going to pick up a Splinter Storm. Landing 5 weapon attacks within 7 seconds grants you an aura of swirling splinters that lasts 5 seconds. The aura will deal 20 damage per second, increased by 100% of your armor. As you can see, my armor is currently 53. Once active, your weapon attacks refresh the duration of the aura. We're going back to the Endurance we picked up here, and we're going to the right to pick up Dexterity, right once more for Endurance, and then north for Boons of the Hunt. While in combat, you have a chance to gain the boon of a Wild Spirit, the Bear, the Wolf, or the Raven. Each boon will either increase your armor, physical crit chance, or magic for 15 seconds. It's basically a free buff. Once there, and you're back in this node, come to the right to pick up this critical node here. Again, we want that extra magic crit chance. And then we're going to come down to this node here for a Constitution +1, and then going anti-clockwise to pick up Spirit +1 into the offensive node, and we're going to put a +1 Spirit in here. We're then going to go into Center for Venomous Thorns. Your root effects last 15% longer, meaning enemies are trapped for longer. Additionally, whenever you root an enemy, you can also apply a stack of poison. It's just free damage. Once you've got all this, we're going to come back to the Endurance node here underneath Splinter Swarm, and And we're going to come to the left to pick up Vigour. Left once more for this offensive node to put a Spirit in here. And then down for Dex +1, Endurance +1, and then north for Fury of the Elements. Using 2 spells in quick succession empowers your next 2 weapon attacks, dealing an extra 118 damage. Really easy to do because you can root your enemies and then you can throw your leaves out. Once you got that, follow this all the way around for Knowledge +1. Defense node, again put either Defense or Constitution in here. Left for Vigour, left once more for Spirit, and then north for Unstable Elements. Damage from your lightning and wild spells have a 5% chance to deal 100% increased damage. Damage from non-lightning and wild spells have a 5% chance to restore 100% of damage dealt as health. Awesome buffs either way. Once here, I would come south again, pick up this defense node, put some Vigour in here. You will find by this point you need more Vigour for a better equipment load, otherwise you're going to be just very encumbered. And then back to this node, we go left for Knowledge, left once more for another Knowledge, and then north for Cycle of Life. Enemies have a 15% chance to drop a life particle upon death. When collected, particles restore health equal to 10% of your maximum health over 5 seconds. And then we're going to go south. Pick up Constitution, and then follow this clockwise for a Spirit +1, Defense node for more Vigour, into the middle for Spiritual Focus, so reduces your mana cost by 5%. This bonus is increased by 0.2% per point of Spirit, so again, more Spirit now means less mana cost and more weapon damage. Follow this around for Spirit +1, Constitution +1, Endurance +1 by coming down, and down once more for Static Electricity. Your weapon attacks start you 1 stack of Static Electricity. Reaching 10 stacks will cause your next wild spell to expend all this, dealing 560 damage split between all enemies near the target, which is huge. And then from here, we're just going to pick up in Dexterity and Spirit along the right hand path here, and to the left for the crit node to increase your magical crit chance. Now for these nodes, you are going to want to put a lot of Vigour in here. Again, equipment load is important, wearing heavy armour to tank yourself up. And you're going to want to put Spirit in here for the root chance. Again, more Spirit, more weapon damage, less mana cost, more root chance, get to entrap enemies, making them easier to hit and pick off. And of course, when it comes to the crit nodes here, magic crit chance all the way up. The more magic crit chance, the more damage your spells are going to deal. Now if we look at our spells, the 2 I am using is Wild Vines. This is the one that goes up from the floor, trapping enemies. And we fully upgraded this, so not only will it now deal extra damage by 290%, it will also increase 15% of damage from your lightning wild spells if that's the route you want to go down, and increases the crit chance of the Eruptive Thorns by 100%. And I'm pairing this with Rake, the 3 leaves that you shoot out that deal 50 damage each, and then you can recall them, dealing 120 damage to all enemies they pass through. Upgrading this all the way to the max, the recall leaf will restore 3 health if it damages an enemy on its way back. It will have a 4% chance to inflict bleeding for 3 seconds, and increases the number of leaves shot by 1. And again, if you want to go down the lightning route, you can, but I would recommend taking Ball Lightning, and I'd recommend taking Fork Lightning. This build will work either way. You can go more sort of plant-based druidy, or go with the lightning route. Choice really is yours. You can even split it. For a long time, I was running Wild Vines and Forked Lightning, and that got me through about 75% of the game, until I changed to Rake. When it comes to the equipment, I am using the Emerald Dream as the main weapon, A+ scaling, 10% root chance, and a 35% smash chance. And I have a rune on this to increase the physical damage of the weapon by 10%. I am pairing this with the Wildwood Perforate, 50 extra mana and a 10% magic critical chance. And then for gear, the Grove Tender's Jerkin, 19 armor, 6 dex, 7 spirit, 7 knowledge, and a rune for 8 defense. We're going to go with the Grove Tender's Crown, 4.5 armor, 13 magic crit chance, 10 root chance, 8 defense. And that's from a rune. The Grove Tender's Gloves, 2.3 armor, 10% magic crit chance, and a 7% root chance. And then the pants, 19 armor, 6 dex, 6 spirit, 6 defense. And the Feathered Cloak, most importantly, 20% equipment load extra. Again, we are going very heavy armoured with this, want to tank ourselves up as much as possible. When it comes to rings, we are going with the Signet of Magic, 10% of all these extra damage types. The Focus Ring for 8% less mana cost, again just piling on top of the already awesome we have with having less mana cost thanks to our spirit. The Grip of the Garden, 20% less weapon weight, again helping us with our endurability. And Entangling Ring for the 7% root chance. And that really is how the build works. We get to throw out our vines and trapping enemies like that. You have heavy weapon damage just like this. Unfortunately, these enemies can be a little tricky to aim at because You don't get to really aim these spells, but as you can see, you can just one-shot stuff so easily. We can stand within here, and you'll see just from doing our spells how much health we gain back from each hit. So we're currently at half health. If I go find an enemy, shoot it all the way through, you'll see we just regen almost all of it. So it doesn't matter if we take damage. We can constantly just regen our health, and by doing spells in quick succession, we reduce mana costs. So it's a really self-sufficient build. Obviously play a bit more carefully than I am, I'm just showing you off all your abilities, but it's so easy. You've got the magic capability, the healing capability, and you can hit really hard. So I really hope this build has helped you. If it has, please drop the episode, that helps me tremendously, and let me know in the comments what you think about not only Mandragora the game, but also the Wyldwarden. If you're ready, please subscribe to the channel. I've got more guides too. Baldur's Gate, Mandragora, Dragon Age, Path of Exile, Wu-Chang, Fallen Feathers, Elden Ring, basically all the amazing RPGs you could ever need, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.